Do you suspect that you're working for a micromanager? How can you know exactly? I'll share with you 11 signs of micromanagement so that you can know for yourself if this is what's happening to you. Interestingly, micromanagers sometimes have good intentions. They believe that they are helping a person who reports to them to do their best work and to get it done on time. They think they're actually leading you towards a greater understanding of what great work looks like. But it certainly doesn't feel that way to the person being managed. They feel that they are being suffocated and oppressed, and it saps their energy, their creativity, their willingness to contribute new ideas. At some point, they start to want to leave, at least the manager, if not the organization. So micromanagement can be very bad for company cultures and team morale. But again, how will you know if micromanagement is present in your working environment? Here are 11 signs. The first sign is that they check in constantly on your tasks and projects. They always want updates on your progress. Hardly any time goes by. I remember one client that I worked with, when I interviewed members of their team, they said that they'll assign us a task in the afternoon and follow up in the morning on progress. Very few hours had even gone by. Of course, after we worked together, this manager stopped doing that, but that was a sign. Sign number 2, they don't let you make any but the smallest decisions. You have almost no autonomy or independence to make any decisions, even on projects that you're supposedly responsible for. Sign number 3, they hover over you while you do your work. When you're in the office working together, they'll actually watch you do your work. Or if it's a virtual meeting, they might want to share the screen and watch you do your work. I can only imagine how difficult that would be to be hovered over while you do what you are supposed to do. That can certainly be unnerving. But again, the micromanager may have good intentions by doing this sort of thing. Sign number 4, they tell you exactly how to do something with no room for creativity in how you get it done. They may feel that this is delegating with instruction, but it's really micromanagement. Micromanagers have a very hard time delegating. Sign number 5, in meetings, they tend to dominate the discussion with their thoughts and their ideas. And that's how they stifle creativity and innovation, because they're the source of all the ideas. At some point, team members just give up on trying to contribute because the micromanager always has their way. Number 6, they want their reports to regularly report their work activity. Imagine having to submit an activity report daily, or maybe a little bit better, weekly. Constantly having to report on what you're doing with your time. If you have a hybrid work schedule and you're working from home or working from the office, the micromanager wants to know what you're doing when they're not hovering over you. Sign number 7, if you're meeting with your skip level manager, the micromanager wants to be there, right? They need to know what's being discussed with their manager, and they want to be a part of that discussion and weigh in on the discussion, because micromanagers are often not that confident and not that trusting. This is why they tend to do what they do. And this is often a trap that newer managers fall into. They believe that this is how they can show the results they're able to get through their teams by ensuring that everything is done in a certain way, that all decisions are made in a certain way, generally by them. So this is often something that you see with newer managers, but it doesn't have to be that way. I've worked with some pretty senior leaders who have some of these symptoms. So now, symptom number 8, they don't really offer feedback. Why is that? It's because It's hard to give feedback on something that is essentially their work done through you. If you follow their very specific instructions, then they'll be happy. If you don't, you'll know it. And that might be the only feedback that you ever get, that you didn't follow my exact instructions. Symptom number 9. The best and most challenging projects are generally not given to you. They're going to hold on to them themselves. They keep those, which then leads to symptom number 10. You're not growing. You're staying frozen in time because you're not able to innovate. You're not able to creatively execute. You're not contributing your ideas for how things can be done better. You're not being given the challenging projects. So you're staying stuck at a certain level, which then makes it hard for you to get promoted because you're frozen in time, right? And so your manager is kind of keeping you in place through this lack of growth. And finally, the final symptom, number 11, is that you don't feel trusted. It really boils down to that, doesn't it? That there's a lack of trust in the team, or if this is happening throughout the organization, there's a lack of trust there. When these signs of micromanagement are in place, it's very bad for morale. What will happen is eventually creativity and innovation will come to a standstill. Contributions from people at lower levels will be stifled, and people will want to leave the organization after a certain period if the manager is not corrected or doesn't leave themselves. How can you do anything about this? The way to do something is to collectively meet with the leader and share with them what you're feeling by their style of management. What you're hoping to tap into is just some small shred of self-awareness and openness to doing things differently. It will probably be hard to do one-on-one unless you're potentially a high performer. If you were brought into the organization from the outside and you're a top performer and that's why you were hired and you're being micromanaged, you have some leverage there, especially if you have this conversation with your manager in the first few months of your employment. After that, it gets harder and harder. If you've been around for a while, then it's generally easier to do collectively. The one thing I don't recommend is calling them out to senior management, because that may not go so well and could create a period of high tension. If the group meeting achieves some progress, then the manager can start to work down the list and do fewer and fewer of these activities that make you feel micromanaged. And even better, they would work with a coach. I have worked with managers in the past who are micromanagers. Even at fairly significant leadership levels, they're exhibiting some of these signs. Of course, not all 11, but some of them, and they can work on those things and develop new habits. So you may suggest to your leader that they get some executive coaching. I hope this video has helped you to identify the micromanager. And if you are that person, I hope you have that level of self-awareness that you can honestly reflect on these symptoms and start to change for the better. It'll be great for your team's morale. Ask them for their ideas. Let them do their work. Give them more and more trust. It will benefit you in the long run. If you'd like to get some coaching, reach out to me, michael@BAECexecutivecoach.com, or visit the website, explore our services, and schedule some time with me. If this video has helped you, please like it, share it, and subscribe to the channel because more videos are on the way to help you to be a more effective manager and leader. Thank you very much.